Hi, welcome to my channel, See Mary Make. Today I'm making this, I don't know what to call it, like a flower box for my dining room table. We recently got a new one, and it's longer than our old one, and yeah, I wanted a bigger decoration to go in the center for the spring. So I'm making this out of mostly Dollar Tree products, mostly. And I am not in my typical location, so you're probably going to hear background noises. I don't know if the water fountain for the cats is picking up back there or if you can hear the cats jumping around and meowing and playing, but there's probably going to be a little bit of weird sound in this video. Yeah, so as always, anything I used, I'll put a list in the description box down below the video. And so to start off, I got 8 of these little wood crates from Dollar Tree. I got the ones that don't actually have the slats. They look like they're slatted, but they're not actually. And I kind of lined them up and figured out what order I want to go in because, as everyone knows, I'm sure, these little wooden crafting items from Dollar Tree, they're not perfect. So they're not all the exact same size. So I kind of tried to stagger them the best I could to make it line up correctly, or as close to being perfect as I could get. And I used a combination of E6000 and hot glue on these. You could use wood glue too, considering it is wood. But I didn't feel like looking for mine because it ended up in our tool stuff somewhere in the basement. So yeah, I had the E6000 right in my crafting stuff upstairs, so I just used that. And I used the hot glue so I could go ahead and, it gives you right now stability. So I could go ahead and do that and go ahead and finish it without having to wait for it to cure, because E6000 actually takes about 48 hours to cure fully. So I just glued all these together. That's pretty, see, I'm going like dotting in E6000 and then I kind of just drizzle in some hot glue so it'll just stay together right now so I can finish it. And yeah, that's about all you do there. Remove your stickers, which I did at some point, or maybe I missed one or two. I don't know. And once you glue it all together, or at least for me, I just painted it. And I did not paint the entire thing. I didn't paint the inside of it. I didn't paint the bottom of it. I just painted the outside of it. And just I did the edges too, the upper edge of the box, so that any part of that was showing is painted. Okay, so I did 4 and 4 boxes to put them together. That way it wasn't this huge long piece I was dealing with. So, onto the talk about the paint. Because I don't record, or I didn't keep a whole lot of me painting it in here. For time's sake. I don't want to make the video too long or make it because this isn't super involved. It's not super exciting or hard to do, or it doesn't involve a lot of detail. So, sorry. So, it's, yeah. Oh, look, I do have all the stickers on there still. Oh, I peeled them off. I don't know why I kept that in here. I shouldn't. I should have taken that out. Oh well, I'm not gonna go back and re-edit the video again. So yeah, took the stickers off, removed those. Now I'm gonna paint. I'm just using some chalk paint. I'm using it's not white, it's like an off-white. I don't know what the colors are called because this is not the brand I usually use. I was, For Christmas, my mom got me, like, she got this cute box and filled it with, like, crafting items and gifts for me. And she put a bunch of these little paints in here that I'm sure she got at her work. She works at Hobby Lobby. I think they're folk art chalk paints. And I'm just doing a layer of this, like, it's like an ivory color. All on the outside and those little upper edges. And I usually use Waverly just because that's what we have at the Walmart here. And I feel like you get like a lot of paint for your dollars where it comes to chalk paint. Chalk paint can be pricey depending on what brand you're purchasing. But yeah, so I just painted this with a little brush. I probably got this brush at the Dollar Tree. Maybe not. It might be one of my ancient ones I've had since I was in like 5th grade. Because I do have a couple of those floating around still. I like to do canvas paints with acrylics when I was that age. But so once I did the whole thing in white, now I'm coming back and just dry brushing with a gray color, the same brand. And I'm going to do that all over the outside as well. And you could stop with this step if you want to. I add some, what's that stuff? The Waverly Antique Wax afterwards. It was pretty like this too, or you can just leave it a plain color. You could even stain it if you want to because it is actual wood. And you can make your own stain with your paints and water. Or there's ways to make it with like steel wool, I think. And coffee stains. There's all kinds of ways to stain tea. But yeah, I just go and I dry brush with the antique wax and then I leave it at that. I didn't put a finish on this because it's not going to get any like massive use or wear and tear on it because it's just going to sit in the middle of my dining room table. I'll put it in the basement probably at the end of spring. I don't think I'll keep it on my table through summer. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll make something different to go on the table for summer. Okay, so now I'm just taking some floral foam. I also purchased at Dollar Tree and using a kitchen knife to cut it. And I just cut each, it's the long blocks. I just cut each one in half and then in half again to put in there. So that took 2 full blocks to fill those with the first piece. And then I took the last block and I just cut little slices off of it and glued it right on top of that piece. And I just used some hot glue on the bottom of there to help it stay. I'm sorry, I'm going to clear my throat 1,000 times. I keep trying to cut it out, but I don't want to keep stopping. But my throat was starting to like crackle, or my voice was because of it. Oh yeah, so yep, now here I'm cutting the small slices just to go on top to fill it more so the flowers don't have to go down as far. I really don't like dealing with long stems when I'm doing stuff like this if I can avoid it. So I like whatever container it is to be pretty full of the floral foam. I kind of wish I had done a second piece to make it meet the edge of the other one, but I didn't feel like it. So yeah, now I'm just taking, so this greenery was purchased at Hobby Lobby on clearance a long time ago. It's actually, my mom will buy things for projects she does, and then she sends me or gives me the leftover pieces, whatever she has left, which is usually a lot of stuff. So she sent me all this greenery and those little, whatever those little spriggy flowers are laying there on my mat too. So those came from Hobby Lobby. But the rest of the flowers I use, I think, are Dollar Tree. Except maybe the first 3 big roses I put in. I don't know where those ones came from because they didn't have any tags on them. But based on their appearance, I don't think they came from Dollar Tree. And that's one of my kids helping. Oh, that's my son helping. He wanted to help some. Which he quickly got tired of because these were the only ones I didn't have to clip a lot. They were already clipped apart. And when it came to putting the flowers on, I had, nip all the stems with some wire clippers or cutters. He didn't like doing that. He said it made his hands hurt. So, I don't know, he did like 2 or 3 and then he was like, nope, I'm done. But so yeah, I just come in and I start. I don't really have a particular order I do it in. I know some people say, oh, you should start with this part or that part, blah, blah. Since I had large pieces of greenery, I decided to go with those first. I usually try and do my larger flowers first when I'm doing faux florals like this. Those roses, I don't think those are Dollar Tree ones. They're a super pale pink. They almost, to me, look like off-white on the camera, but they're a pale pink. And I only had like 3 of them left because I think I used them on another project or something. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh, so that's it, I think, for the non-Dollar Tree greenery. That little piece there. I take that back. That little piece, I bought that, and also I have one thing of like dogwoods that I bought at Hobby Lobby on sale last year to make my Easter wreath, which go watch that video if you want to see my cross-shaped wreath for Easter. I ended up not using them on it. I just used ribbon to make a bow, and I didn't like the way it looked with the flower on it too, so I just didn't. So yeah, now I just clip off all the flowers pretty close to the top, and I just kind of stick them all in there until I like the way it looks. I spent probably about $20 on the stuff for this. Because of course Dollar Tree, it's not $1 anymore, it's $1.25, and most of the stuff I used in this I did purchase right before I made it. I didn't have sorry, I didn't have enough of the crates. I didn't have enough of the floral foam left. And I have plenty of fall flowers left, but I don't have any like springy type colors or flowers. I have a lot of like sunflowers and like the dried looking, I don't know what kind of flowers they are. I don't know a lot about flowers or what they look like. But yeah, so I just should have cut this part out too, probably. And you can't really see. Okay, yeah. I have some daisies here. I bought these at the Dollar Tree. And I'm keeping the greenery on them. I just push it closer to the top and then nip. I don't know, probably less than 6 inches down the stem. Because these aren't big crates or big containers. And my goal is for this to look like one big piece when it's done. Not like it's a bunch of tiny crates. Which I'm pleased with the way it came out. My mom just visited yesterday, actually, and she commented on it on there. She's like, oh, that's pretty. Okay, and I've got these pink roses that also came from Dollar Tree. I didn't purchase these. These are ones I had in that my mom had sent, I think. And yeah, I should have cut more of this out. See, there he is helping with the, the clipping. He was having some problems doing it, and he was complaining that it was hurting his hands. So I just kind of nip and stick them in random places and go. I And honestly, I very rarely go back and move a flower or piece once I've placed it. Every now and then I'm not happy with the way it looks once I get more in there and have to scoot it over a little bit or realize I've put too much of the same one close together. So yeah, but I don't hot glue them in or glue them in at all. I know like a lot of people, if you're planning on doing like a permanent one or whatever, you should probably glue it in, especially if you're going to be storing it year after year and reusing it. But I just don't. I just make sure to store it in a way that it's not disturbed a lot. So, yeah. Oh, look, it's starting to come together. The only thing I might change about it later on is the handles on the sides. I can see the foam, the floral foam through the handles. So I think I'm going to go like dig through my stuff and see if I have some moss down there and just like shove it in inside the crates just on the sides there where the handles are visible. So you can't see the foam. I didn't actually want to use this greenery in it, but my Dollar Tree, which has been closed for like a month, it finally opened back up, and that's when I went in and bought this stuff to make this. I've been wanting to make this for a while. But our Dollar Tree was closed. The next nearest one, they didn't have any of the crates. But our Dollar Tree that I went into when I bought this a few days ago, all this stuff, they didn't have any plain greenery. Like I see videos of other people online buying greenery at their Dollar Trees for stuff like this, but ours like never has just plain greenery at it. I don't know if it gets sold out super fast or if they don't order it. Because there's like a lot of stuff I see other people getting at Dollar Trees online, and ours I never see it at. And I'm a pretty frequent flyer. I stop there pretty much anytime I go past it. Which is a little less these days because I got an actual like job outside of the home. But beforehand, I was stopping at Dollar Tree like every time I went out that way, which was a couple times a week usually. Oh, so these that I'm putting in here are like lavender sprigs that I got. Well, I just put some in a minute ago that I got from Dollar Tree. And they're so pretty. I think they're new. I haven't seen ones that look like this before. They're like the hard plastic at the very tip of it. And the rest are these tiny little fluffy looking petals. They do shed a little bit, but it all doesn't shed off. I just gave them a good like shake out before I started this, and I didn't have much shedding after that. And I have, they had 3 colors actually. They had these ones that are white and purple that I put in, and these deeper purple ones that I put in. And then they also had one that was a lighter purple, which I didn't buy any of those. Now as you can see, I used quite a bit of flowers to fill this because this is a very long box, and I wanted it to look nice and full. I used, if you were going to do just Dollar Tree flowers, you'd probably need at least $20 in flowers alone. At least. But you know, like sometimes you can find better prices elsewhere because you get more in I don't know what they call it. I just call it like a little bouquet. I don't know. You can get more in one thing of flowers at other stores sometimes. Or larger flowers too. It's honestly, I thought I had some of these white flowers left that I used on my pumpkin topiary, but I didn't have any of those left. Not the larger ones. I thought I did. Because I would have liked to use those. Because, you know, of course, bigger flowers, the more space they take up. But I used a lot of small ones. I used these daisies, the lavender, the roses, and Those little like green with the tiny white sprig thingies, I have no clue what those are because like they didn't have tags on them either. They were just like remnants that my mom sent me. But yeah, this is really all there is to it. Just sticking the flowers on in, making sure all the spots are covered that you can't see the foam through the top or the sides, except like I said, through the handles. So you may want to figure out how to go about changing that. With the one topiary one I did, I had handles on the side and I just stuck some greenery through them like it was growing out of it or whatever too. But I didn't have any small enough to do that on these tiny little handles on this. So, like I said, I'll probably go dig out some moss at some point. These are the dogwoods I was saying that I bought at Hobby Lobby last year. Just decided to stick those in there too. Figured why not? I'm not going to use them for anything else. But that's all there really is to this craft. I'm just going to keep cutting and sticking in flowers. Just place them where you like them. And yeah, that's really about it. Sorry again. I told you I'm going to clear my throat a million times. And I stopped at first every time it happened and went back and cut it out and re-recorded. But it's early in the morning. My throat's always gunky in the morning, allergies and sinuses, But yeah. I don't know why I kept so much of this in there. I guess just so people could see all of them being placed in. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. I'm pretty much done. I'll show you what it looks like on my table with all my crafting stuff cleaned up at the end here. And like I said, you can glue these in if you know where you want them placed and you're sure you don't want to move them and all that. But I don't usually glue in stuff like this. But here's the finished product, what it looks like sitting on the table. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos, please subscribe. Consider liking to the videos when you watch them. And I hope someone finds this useful in some way. This was an easy project. It was not difficult. It took about an hour or two, but it wasn't hard. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want.